everyone, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Today I am brewing up a Galaxy SMaSH. So I'm using Maris Otter and Galaxy. My target for this one is basically get a 6 to 7% beer. IBUs will be right around 60, and yeah, I really want to get used to what the Galaxy stuff has to offer. So it'll definitely be an IPA, and could always use another one of those. Currently got the strike water heating up. It's about 70 degrees, so it should be ready in about 5 minutes. Alright, so here we go. I got about 6 kilos of Maris Otter. Hop additions, targeting 20 IBUs at 60. Then my next one is 20 IBUs at 15. And then about 8.1 IBUs at 5. And then I'll be whirlpooling another ounce at the flame out. Should get about close to 60 IBUs, showing about 58 here. Using the California Ale WLP 001 today. Got a 1.5 liter starter that's been going for about 24 hours, so that's ready to go. And then I know it says Centennial, but it's actually going to be Galaxy. So I'll do 140 grams dry hopping with 140 grams of Galaxy. Yep. So that's the plan. This week I've also made up a Hefeweizen. So last Saturday I had a colleague come over and also one of my neighbors, and we did up a Hefeweizen. It was pretty much 50% wheat, 50% Pilsner malt, and then we used all Belma hops. So it's going to be an American Hefeweizen. But the Belma hops, now I know you're supposed to target like 25 IBUs or less. Probably 15 to 20. I went a little bit more than that. I think so much more that I'm going to have to call this one like the Hoppy Heffer, something like that, because what I was trying to do was get the banana notes out of the yeast, but also combine that with the Belma hops, which are supposed to produce like a strawberry type flavor and aroma. So that was my thought. Banana, strawberry, why not? I went a little heavy on the hops. I was like, well, a little bit too much can't hurt. It's pretty much going to be like an IPA with Hefeweizen yeast. I made a mistake. We'll see. I thought I was actually using WLP 300, the normal Hefeweizen yeast, but actually it turned out to be the WLP 320, which is the American Hefeweizen, which basically is just as flocculent, but less banana, less clove notes than the typical 300. So I'm a little bit worried about that. So I did actually start off fermentation higher than normal, right around 20 Celsius, and then dropped it back down to about 16, 17 to get more of the clove out, and bumped it back up to 19 in order to just let that continue for the next 4 or 5 days. It's Easter weekend, so I'm going to brew up this guy, package it up, and then I'm heading off to the cabin for the rest of the weekend. It's currently Thursday. I'll be back Monday afternoon, start work again on Tuesday. But this guy will be fermenting, primary fermentation, while we're at the cabin. No worries. And then the Hefeweizen will have been there for almost 2 weeks. About a week and a half when we come back. So yeah, a couple beers, couple fermenters going, and plenty of beer in the keezer. For the Easter weekend sabbatical, I usually bring up some books with me. Now last year I finished reading For the Love of Hops, and I also finished reading Mitch Steele's The Evolution of the IPA. This year, just in time, they arrived. I'll show you what I'll be looking at. Alright, so first I'll be checking out Randy Mosher's Radical Brewing. Now I hear really good things about this. So I'm going to check it out. Next one is Ray Daniels, Designing Great Beers. So really looking forward to go through here, learn more about the advanced techniques for brewing beer, putting your beer recipes together, and things like that. And lastly, Gordon Strong, Brewing Better Beer. I hear good things about this one as well. A lot of great techniques. It's about stepping up your game, not just teaching you recipes, not just teaching you sort of, you know, what about the basics about brewing. This is an advanced guide to learn about all the stuff you need to know to really take it up to the next level. Okay, so a bit of the brew day. Currently got the mash at 64, got it set for 67. The HLT water is currently at 66, so you see a bit of inconsistency. So for the HLT, it's filled with water coming out of the valve here, going to the bottom of the pump, coming through the top of the pump, and recycling back up into the top of the HLT, and pushing it through that barb over there, giving it circulation to circulate the water around the element. So while that maintains a temperature around 67, 66 degrees, we've got the wort that's currently in the mash tun coming out, going out of the valve, coming down through the bottom of the pump, going back up and going into the recirculation coil that's in the HLT to bring it back up to 66, 67 degrees and push it back up to the top of the mash tun. And you can see in the mash tun we've got pretty good circulation going on. It's coming up here out of the top, coming from the top of the coil, back in, cycling in around, coming out over there and creating a type of whirlpool effect on top of the wort, so it's constantly cycling through there. You can see it's pretty clear. It's only been in there for about 15 minutes. Over the course of the next 45 minutes, that's going to clarify even more. And then I'll come back to you when it's time to fill up the boil kettle. So first, a couple words about the SJ Pour Challenge 2014. Europe currently has 12 people signed up. So if you're thinking about signing up, you've got less than a month to do so before the deadline is reached. So the deadline for registration for Europe is May 11th. Make sure you do it before then. Do it as soon as possible. Heck, go do it right now. Okay, so currently mashing out. I've got 75 Celsius water coming out of the bottom of the HLT, through the bottom of the pump, up into the bottom of the coil, cleaning out the coil and pushing all the sweet wort that was in there out, and sparging the grains. From the grains, I've got it coming out of there, through the pump, up into the boil kettle. You can see the little bit more than mash out temps, about 76. Doing pretty good up on the control panel, showing me it's at 75 for the HLT mash out water. Currently 72 in the mash tun, coming out, going into the boil kettle that way. So there's the 72 reading. Just doing a really slow sparge, keeping the water about an inch over the grain bed. It's looking pretty clear down there. But I did disturb the grain bed a little bit, so when I started the first run-in, it came out a little bit cloudy, so it's not quite as clear as usual. But yeah, so there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and so the IBUs on this calculated at 58.4, and that was with a 60-minute hop addition. It's only going to be a 60-minute boil. What I really want is to reach the 60 IBU target, and so I'm going to go ahead and add in ½ ounce Galaxy hops for first wort hopping. There we go, the hops are soaking up nicely. Now we'll just let that cure for the first wort hop-ins, For the rest of the additions today, that's it until 15 minutes to the end of the boil. I've got the Werflock tablet, yeast nutrient, and an ounce of Galaxy for 15. I've got another ounce of Galaxy at 5 minutes, and then finally the last ounce coming in at flame out, and I'll whirlpool for 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, so checking in at my run-ins coming in. It's about 10, 12, 13. Not too bad. I've collected, let's see, my target was 7.8 gallons. So I'm right at my target for my boil volume. Now I'll go ahead and check my pre-boil gravity. I've already kicked on the element, so it's starting to heat up. Alright, here we go. Boil is starting to happen. Gonna get some foam here, and that's alright. That's to be expected. And took a little sample here before, so let's go ahead and test that out. I'll get this under control. Alright, so there we go. Got about 1054. And then if we look at my target was and the pre-boil gravity should be 1054. So I'm right on the mark. I met all my numbers. I'm pretty happy with that. So I've turned down the PID down to 75% capacity. Got a nice rolling boil here. Set the timer. I'm 3 minutes into it after hot break. And I'll just go ahead and let this continue for another 45 minutes before we add in our next hop addition, Werflock tablet, and yeast nutrient. Alright, just went over 45 minutes on the clock. Time to add in our yeast nutrient, Werflock tablet, and 1 ounce. There we go. A little shy. Pull it all in there. Looking good. Alright, just about 55 minutes there. 5 minutes before the end of the boil. So let's go ahead. I got another ounce of Galaxy here. Dumping it in. Looking pretty good. Alright, so we're at the end of the boil. Go ahead and turn the alarm off. 10 seconds over. Turn off the heating element. Come over here. Start to calm down. Add in this last ounce. Alright. Today I'm just going to do like a manual whirlpool. Instead of putting in my whirlpool arm, I'm just going to go ahead and stir it up every few minutes for about 15 minutes. Alright, so it looks like my final gravity, or starting gravity, came in at about 1067. That's not bad. If we take a look on the sheet, I should have came up with 1067. So 1067 right on the money. So yeah, all in all, good brew day. The wort's in there, still in the boil kettle. Got about 2 more minutes before I start chilling it and then moving it into the fermenter. Okay, so currently chilling. It's a lot quieter, got the fan turned off. Let's see, we're about 4.5 gallons coming out of here through the bottom of the pump up to the top, going into the counterflow chiller, coming out the bottom, and going straight into the fermenter. That's what it's looking like coming out. Really nice, sort of a straw or golden color. Okay, so we got 21 liters without the starter. You see my starter sort of erupted a little bit, which is okay. It's about 1800 milliliters, and that's okay. And over here I've already oxygenated it quite a bit, so yeah, it's big and puffy now. That's all been oxygenated, pure oxygen. So now it's just time to pitch the starter. The starter, I used a extra light DME, and so the SMaSH is sort of somewhat of a SMaSH. There it goes. It's empty. It's good to go. Now the yeasties should be happy. Plenty of work to do. It's all at the same temperature. And oh yeah, don't forget to put your magnet on the bottom there so your stir bar doesn't go in. Alright, so here we go. Here's the 5 gallons of Hefeweizen. And that's been going now for almost a week. It's only been about 5 days. And going quite nicely. This is the Maris Otter Galaxy SMaSH we just made. And we came out with exactly 23 liters, so that's right about 6 gallons. 19 liters over here for this guy, so that's 5 gallons. Doing really good. Alright, so the brew day is done. As you saw, I hit all my numbers, so I'm really happy about that. Let the weekend begin. Hey, I wanted to give a shout out to brewtubers.com. If you haven't been over to the site, go ahead and check it out. They got some great merchandise on there now. If you were ever one of those guys that wanted the Brewtuber bottle opener, they got those over there now. They got some great shirts. They're working on some work shirts. So those are coming. Also, glasses, Brewtuber glasses. Definitely can't wait to get my hands on one of those. But most importantly is interviews. So I've done some interviews with S.J. Poor, also with Paul Wicksteed and Harry Brew 69. We had a great time talking, and yeah, so they're up there. Just go ahead, check out brewtubers.com, look at the interviews, and you know, comment. Let me know what you think. I will be doing more interviews in the future. First, trying to get through all the guys that are actually acting hubs for the S.J. Poor competition or challenge, for the S.J. Poor challenge. And then I'll be working away to all of the other guys that we know and love to watch every week, Homebrew Wednesday. So yeah, if you've got anything cool, exciting, things that you want to announce, then, you know, talk to me about it and we'll put it up through an interview. So yeah. Oh, and before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Greg Koch of Stone Brewing Company, and of course the Stone Brewing Company folks who helped do the video. Thank you so much for the video response from my brew day, brewing up the Stone 10th Anniversary IPA Ale from Mitch's book. That was great. Thanks a lot. You have to know that I was totally blown away, and it made my month, made my year. I really appreciate that. You are more than welcome to come and share a few beers with me at my house. I'd be more than happy to facilitate that. In fact, you come to Norway and you don't give me a call, I'd be offended. No, I know you're a busy guy, but once again, thanks a lot. I really appreciate the shout out. Cheers.